Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hello. Good evening, Amit sir.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hearty
Hi,
welcome, sir.
thank you very much.
Okay. Think we
Good
have
evening,
Pankaj.
Kasim sir.
Yeah, hi, good evening, ma'am. How are you?
We are good, sir. Thank you for accepting our proposal. Hearty
Yeah,
welcome, sir.
thank you so much.
Just a minute, sir. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
అమ్మా యూట్యూబ్ ఛానల్ లింక్ షేర్ చేయలేదమ్మా ఫాస్ట్గా చేయవా 2 minutes కాదు క్విక్గా అయిపోయింది 100 రీచ్ అయిపోయింది థ్యాంక్ యూ Sir, shall we start?
Amit sir, can we start?
Initially, we have small formalities to complete. So
Sure.
after that, we'll start with the guest lecture, sir. Already we have 100 members here, and the live streaming we are starting, sir. So I'm just waiting for the live streaming link to be shared in the groups. Once that is done, we'll start immediately, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir, it's done. Yes, we are going live also. A very good evening, everyone. This is Dr. P. Mary Anupama, Head of the Department of Biochemistry, along with my colleague, Dr. Mausami Shankar Adala. We are here to invite you to this third series of International Nutrition webinar, which we are organizing. So welcome to all of you. Here we can accommodate only 100. So sorry for that. And there is YouTube link which is given. So rest of the 200 or 300 people who have joined this webinar, we are inviting you to watch through the YouTube link and get benefited. So the live streaming will be going on till the end of the session, and you can all view there. And if you have any doubts, please post it in the group where all these eminent speakers are there, and you can, like, we're also there to cooperate with you. So before going ahead, let us seek the blessings of Almighty God by invocation of a prayer song by 3rd BBC students.
ఇప్పుడు మంచిదా హలో
Prayer song by 3rd BBC students.
Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let your love increase. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Walls of pride and prejudice shall cease. When we are your instruments of peace, where there is hatred, we will show his love. Where there is injury, we will never judge. Where there is striving, we will speak his peace to the millions crying for release. We will be his instruments of peace. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let your love increase. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Walls of pride and prejudice shall cease. When we are your instruments of peace, when we are your instruments of peace, when we are your instruments of peace.
Thank you, dear students, for that. Okay, now, myself, Dr. P. Mary Anupama, will be giving the inaugural remarks, the welcome note to all the guests and eminent speakers. So we all know that the National Nutrition Week is observed every year from September 1st to 7th. And in India, it is a collaborative initiative by the Food and Nutrition Board and the Indian government's Ministry of Women and Child Development to speed up awareness around the importance of nutrition, and it's also about promoting healthy eating. The theme for this year is Healthy Diet, Going Affordable for All. National Nutrition Week holds great significance as it aims to educate people about the role of nutrition and the importance of maintaining a well-balanced diet. Multidisciplinary programs and initiatives are organized, and these are aimed at addressing many issues, which also include malnutrition, especially in growing up adolescent children, like our college students, and the vulnerable population, like the young ones and the pregnant women. Within this week, government agencies, non-government organizations, healthcare providers, and educational institutions, they organize workshops, seminars, and awareness campaigns. Just a moment. Anusha, please mute if anyone is speaking. Anusha?
Yes, ma'am.
Please mute if anyone is.
Okay.
Somebody by name Miss Manju, can you please mute?
I think I muted all. Please, Seema. Okay, so all of us will be creating some or the other awareness programs. And these often provide information on dietary guidelines, food choices, and even the healthy eating habits. So Nutrition Week, it encourages people to make healthier food choices and adopt better eating habits. So it can lead to increased consumption of fruits, vegetables, whole grains by the people who follow these or conduct these things, and also the people who are listening to this, at least they maintain for 1 week, and some of them, they may change their lifestyle forever. So during this 1 week, we especially from SGSC, the Department of Biochemistry, we emphasize the importance of sustainable environmental friendly food choices, and also on consumption of some locally sourced ones, some seasonal foods, etc., and also on reducing the carbon footprints associated with food production as well as distribution. So this is our third one, and myself, Dr. Anupama and Dr. Mausmi, welcome you all, and we expect you all to join. Firstly, today we have with us our eminent speaker, Shri Amit Srivastava sir, who is the founder and CEO of Nutrify today, and he is going to give us the inaugural address. So now may I request Dr. Mausmi Shankar ma'am to please introduce our chief guest of today's program to the audience. Over to Dr. Mausmi Shankar ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, a hearty welcome to the chief guest, Dr. Amit sir. Amit Srivastava is the founder and chief catalyst of Nutrify today. Sir's resume is excellently fully charged actually. So just to a nutshell view brief up, he's a senior executive with extensive experience in nutraceuticals, medical foods in domestic and international markets. He has successfully developed and launched new products across geographies, enhanced sales and profitability of established product lines. He managed acquisitions and corporate alliances, drove the licensing of proprietary technologies, and augmented startup businesses. He evaluated market landscape and identified opportunities for focused products that ranges positioning, drove improvements on existing products with trust on enhancing customer satisfaction. He had a successful track record of leading and managing large organizations, innovations, operational excellence initiatives, technologies, and organizational transformation. Currently, Sir is the founder and chief catalyst of Nutrify today from April 2020 to present. He is the director of Indian operations of Legacy Healthcare since October 2020 to present. He is also the founder and member of governing body of Responsible Nutrition Association. He worked with Government of Andhra Pradesh for more than 2 years as a strategic advisor since July 2017. And also, he is the head of the business development in nutritionals in Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Indigene is the director of consumer health and nutrition. With this brief introduction, may I invite Amit sir, and a very big thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation with a very short span of intimation amidst your busy schedule. Over to Amit sir.
Thank you, ma'am, and good evening to everyone.
Good evening, sir.
And I must thank every one of you to spare time to actually hear me out. I know I've been given a topic to talk about, but I'm just looking at what outcome can we have from this session. So I heard that we are talking about, it's a nutrition week, we're talking about dietary lifestyle, and I'm sure there's enough information available on YouTube and Google. I don't think I can add any value, but then certainly I want to use this time and see if I can add value into your life that in turn could impact our country and creation of wealth for you and the society. So for this, you know what, I'm not going to get into making any presentation. So let me narrate an interesting real story. And I believe all the students would be less than age of 25, I'm assuming. So let's go 30 years behind. Okay. Most of you quite many of you didn't even exist at that time. So let's go back to that period of time. You know what? Somewhere around 1990s or early 1990s, so basically late 80s to early 90s, India was going through a revolutionary change. A country which was mostly looked down as a poor country surviving on donations from different parts of the world, all of a sudden started making news worldwide, and it made so much progress during that period that it continues to be a leader today. And let me take you into that part of the journey. Pharmaceuticals. Somewhere in those days, the pharmaceutical was ruled by Western companies, and the product cost of drugs were unbearably very high. And actually, in India, many could not afford it. So the biggest challenge that our country had was, how do we take drugs, medicine, to the common man? And those were the days when all of a sudden the young scientists from different parts of the country, scientists as young as youth, started experimenting in their labs to see if they could find a way to create a larger access pharmaceutical products that could reach to a common man across the world and break the monopoly of multinational companies. Hence, these innovators who had a dream to solve a larger problem and were fresh out of college created companies that we often know as Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharmaceuticals, and the list can go on, Alembic. These are first generation pharmaceutical companies that have not only got India into the leadership position in intellectual property driven product development, but they have broken the monopoly of multinational companies. So let me tell you, what does that mean? 20 years back, a very common drug called as salbutamol. Salbutamol was available as tablets, and these salbutamol tablets are consumed by people who have respiratory disorder. And then there was an innovation by GSK, which is a multinational company, and they came up with inhalers. The cost of each inhaler was at that time rupees 150. It came down to 100 rupees. And then Dr. Hamid, the founder of Cipla, worked very hard to come up with an alternate solution. Long story short, when GSK was selling salbutamol inhalers for 100 rupees, Dr. Hamid came up with an innovation and he launched a superior, at par and superior salbutamol inhalers at rupees 25. At a time, 25 years back, or 20 years back, 100 rupee was quite a bit if you have to spend for just one product, and which has to be taken lifelong, possibly. And look at the kind of cost arbitrage that Dr. Hamid could do as a owner of Cipla, and rupee 25 product was launched. And you know what? Even today, the brand Astelin that Dr. Hamid created, he made it so big that any developing country or middle income country that you go to, you will find Cipla inhaler and not GSK competing over here. You might as well go to any pharmacy near to your place and you will not be able to easily find GSK inhalers. You'll find Astelin inhalers. Time went by India started developing innovative intellectual property drugs that were completely disrupting the space of pharmaceuticals. When multinational talk of rupee 1 lakh rupee for some kind of drug treatment, Indian companies started developing same 1 lakh rupee product as 1,500 rupee. So there's no relation to these numbers. And that's where a lot of innovation, intellectual properties were created. India became a global leader in pharmaceuticals. I'm a pharmacist by education. As time went by, the information around internet started, moving around. People were thrilled that they could interact with each other through an email. At that time, the most common email was Hotmail. And because I was ignorant, I had to pay rupee 10 to a cyber cafe to create my Hotmail account. And then eventually I realized it was free. So from there on, so Hotmail was, of course, designed and developed by an Indian in the United States. Life moved on, and one day I see an advertisement of a job. So those days, job advertisements used to come under the category of asset in newspaper Times of India. And there was a job advertisement which said, you will be given an air-conditioned room, and all you need to do whole day is chat. Okay? So you will get paid for just chatting. Came that era where entire India was thrilled at serving America, from being chat support system in India to of course medical transcription, to coding and billing. Every clerical job that America had to outsource was being done by Indians, and that brought in an era where Indians moved away from product innovation to a great service support system. So when you applied as a software engineer or a pharmaceutical engineer or a scientist into America for visa, so one of the categories that you have to fill up as intellectual labor. Okay? So whatever you study, whatever intelligence you carry in the visa processing, you're still a labor. Life went on from these kind of services to designing and developing coding for different companies, while America started moving ahead creating innovative products. Drugs, of course, they were always good at. They started designing, developing products. Like today we use Microsoft Windows, a product designed in America. There was a time when Yahoo was a big thing, search engine. Of course, it's not as famous as it was those days. So, you know what? America started creating products. It started offshoring all clerical work to India and all mechanical related clerical work to China. But you know what? In this offshoring from America, some interesting changes happened. India caught on to the craze of born in India, looking for an opportunity to rush to America and settle there, whereas China started doing the clerical work of, filling up the screws in the groove, to carpentry, to designing the furniture themselves, to designing machines themselves, and they didn't rush to America as much as India rushed, because India had become a service economy. Yes, India produced great companies, you name it, TCS, Infosys, but they were great. They are still great, but they still remain as service companies. They don't make product. When you and I are talking on a platform which is not an Indian platform, it's Google, right? When we do chat, when we do video sharing, of course it got banned, but everyone I'm sure was on TikTok, a Chinese product. Most of you have uploaded your CVs on LinkedIn. It's an American product. I'm not blaming anything. I'm not criticizing anything, but it's a journey that I'm trying to bring to your notice because you are the younger blood and the current and the future of India. It is important for you to know that yes, India was a struggling economy at that time, and service possibly was the best way to capture. But as time moved on, China became intellectual property product leader, whereas India still remained great service company. China made TikTok, Indian software companies were serving TikTok. China made Alibaba, Indian companies were helping them design the code. I think India has moved away from that phase. Today we take pride of Chandrayaan 3. Today we take pride of people leaving their jobs and starting new venture because they found a solution to a problem that they felt could serve larger purpose, and hence they got into building and designing products, intellectual properties, and so on. You are at a time where the entire world is undergoing economic flux. There's a geopolitical rift. The country which was trying to become a product leader all of a sudden has got into political rift with everyone, whereas India, with a policy of neutrality, has all of a sudden become a promising star. You know what? I've lived in the US for 8 years. I've lived in Shanghai, China for 7 years. And trust me, there's no country on planet Earth that I've seen as promising and as opportunity giving as India now. I would not comment on what happened in the past, but today India is the most promising land, and at this stage I want to communicate with you that yes, we all need money, we all need job. Look for have a keen eye on the challenges that you see in humanity, whether it is to do with lifestyle, food, nutrition, the way people work. Like in my case, I was lucky, happy doing job with large organizations with Dr. Reddy's. I didn't have to leave and start Nutrify today. But I found that nutraceutical industry today worldwide is struggling and not growing fast because the entire supply chain is opaque. There's no way one supply chain system can easily get into another supply chain and do business. And I wanted to solve that problem. I quit the job, and you know what? The way I did, I quit the job and I created WhatsApp group and got everyone together. As simple as that. Okay? The people who didn't know each other started talking to each other. All of a sudden, when the lockdown started, because as ma'am said, I launched the venture in April 2020, that was beginning of the lockdown. Okay, so Nutrify Today was born during the beginning of lockdown. And in the first year, we made deal. When I say we made deal, basically the supply chain people struck deal at around $22 million. All were mostly Indian deals. Okay, and all happened through WhatsApp. Now, in this journey, the revenue that we generated, my idea was, how do I make sure that the entire platform becomes independent of Amit Srivastava and it goes on forever in democratizing the supply chain. Let innovation not be stuck by middlemen, but let innovation be available to the commercialization companies. in the journey from WhatsApp to creating first video sharing website, which failed, of course, to creating an academy which started serving the industry, to finally coming out with an artificial intelligence. Guys, I am a pharmacist. Artificial intelligence is a tool that eventually I realized could solve the problem which I started on WhatsApp. So if I continue to do on WhatsApp, I don't need Nutrify today. I could earn and become a great consultant and stay at home, watch television. My idea was, can we now automate the entire thing, make a product so that it serves the world, and the entire nutraceutical industry is able to conduct business without reaching out to middlemen. So if you have innovation, you have a business sitting right over there. And hence, we started working on artificial intelligence only to solve this problem and make Amit Srivastava redundant. Long story short, Nutrify Genie was launched. It's world's first AI engine for nutraceutical industry to ideate and commercialize. It's a matter of pride because a country which is known mostly to be a service to the western part of the world has created a product now which is serving companies in India, it is serving companies across the world, and it's neutral, but the entire design, intellectual property, and the product is purely Indian. Okay? I take pride of a product most of you may know, Zoho, a product designed, developed in India, and commercialized worldwide. You all know Oyo. Oyo, designed, conceptualized in India, is also now a fairly large platform, even in China, a country that hates to work and use anything Indian. Okay. Check out a brand called as Esper Nutrition. Now, we all talk of nutrition, weight loss, weight gain, anti-aging. This guy left his job and he said he wants to design a nutraceutical that can help reduce chemotherapy load in a cancer patient. That's a tall claim. And he developed a formula, did clinical trials, proved it, and finally you have Espera Nutrition, which raised venture funding from Dr. Reddy Labs, and now they've raised another international funding. It's now a global company. A company born just 1 year before lockdown. So it's 2019. Today it's a global player in cancer nutrition. The international companies have 1 or 2 products for cancer nutrition. This company has got 26 products, the only company in the world to have such a large portfolio for different kind of cancer. And the product has now been picked up by NHS UK. So the government hospitals in UK have this Indian product being supplied over there. Why I'm citing all this is purely to inspire you that opportunity in India is in every nook and corner. All you need to realize is how would you want to serve this society? What are the problems that you would like to solve and how you can do it? Rest resources are available in abundance, whether it is mentorship, whether it is funds, grants. Money is no more a challenge in country. If you are an innovator, you have an idea, there's enough infrastructure and money available for you to work on. My message is simple. I wanted this time to talk to young blood like you, and don't get carried away. Trust me, when I'm saying this, I really mean it. In no way I'm lacing it up. Rushing to America was great once upon a time. It is not anymore. And the reason I want you to trust me is I've lived there for 8 years, and I moved to China, stayed there for 7 years. Both are amazingly great countries, but the diversity, the dynamism, I'm yet to see in any of these countries. In America, I found it in California, New York, some cities. In India, yes, in India also you don't find it all over the place, but then look at cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore. Look at Zoho, of all the places he operated out of Kerala and made it a global organization. Yeah. So long your intent to solve a problem is clean, there are resources available, and I would want you to make the best use of it. And if you're confused, just take up a job in India, work in that company, learn the dynamics of the business, try to understand where the problem is, and try to solve that problem. So you don't have to become an entrepreneur every time to do something. This is a generation where you can also become intrapreneur. Entrepreneur is an entrepreneur employee in a company who grows up very fast to almost or become a CEO of a company because this person built an organization from X to Y by his or her enterprising capability of solving a problem. With this, I'd like to take a pause if you have any questions. I just wanted to narrate this story that India was a great product success story, a revolution. Then IT came in, but IT came in as a service industry. Now is the time for technology and products, a time when India is taking a global leadership in aerospace, pharmaceuticals. Nutraceutical is the next big thing happening worldwide. Can one of you become a nutraceutical leader? Can you develop a product? Can you develop an ingredient? Can you develop a science that could possibly help solve any of the lifestyle diseases? Or, the questions could be many. I'm a pharmacist, worked in nutrition, now working in artificial intelligence. My agenda has not changed. I wanted to solve the problem of democratizing supply chain. I continue to do that. It is incidentally that I'm also using artificial intelligence. But let me tell you, I had solved the problem to a certain extent by using WhatsApp itself. And you don't have to be an engineer or a scientist to operate a WhatsApp, right? All you need to do is create groups. You'll be surprised. I don't know how many groups do you have on your phone, but I have 70 WhatsApp group of different supply chain across the world. There are 38,600 industry executives worldwide who come to Nutrify Today platform to network and do business and, of course, grow. So that's what happened in last 3.5 years because the intent is very clear that I wanted to serve the industry to democratize supply chain on the basis of merit so that finally the products that reach the consumers are responsible nutrition products and not anything which is nonsense and that leads to some problems. Still a very early journey, but then if you Google out Nutrify Today, you'll be amazed at the kind of media attention that Nutrify Today has gained in India and worldwide. I'm not here to promote and market Nutrify Today. What I want to convey to you is don't jump on to running to. It's not that I'm labeling all of you as, waiting to rush to America, but because there has been a trend in the country, look for opportunities in India. Trust me, you will excel much more. I'm not saying that America is no more great. It is certainly a great country, but then you know what? When you have opportunities sitting next to you, do you really need to leave your hometown, homeland, and rush to some other part of the world? Guess what? My colleague, Kasim, who will be talking to you, he is like my partner. He is an architect. He is designing this innovative artificial intelligence which is serving the world. And he operates out of Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam is a great city, but certainly nowhere near to Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, Bombay, Pune, But the fact is, he's so much engrossed in solving this problem that sitting out of Vizag, he has access to all resources. And today he has a platform. I'm sure many of you would have downloaded the Nutrify Today app. The app has been architected, the entire architecture has been done by Kasim. The message here is you can be an entrepreneur, you can be intrapreneur, okay? So long you're solving a problem, the world will stand up and salute you. It doesn't matter whether you're in a job or you're building a business of your own. it doesn't really matter. What matters is what you're trying to solve in your journey, making a journey meaningful and great, not only for yourself, but the society that you are serving and creating a wealth for all. With this, I'll take a break and love to hear if you have any questions.
Yes, any queries? Anyone? May I request Mausmi ma'am to summarize, please?
Yes, ma'am. 1 second.
Yes. In fact, it's really wonderful to hear you, sir. Thank you for sparing your valuable time. If possible, please share about your app in the WhatsApp, in this chat group also, sir.
Kasim will talk in more detail and give you access. The least,
I'll take forward the tech part, sir.
least is that all of you can download this app. You will get exposed to over 6,000 industry executives worldwide. You can network with them, ask questions, learn, create opportunities for yourself. You can even publish there that you've got an idea. Don't tell everything, but you've got an idea, give it brief, and then say you're looking for help for industry to help you out, or raise funding. The guys who will help you out.
I heard you also
You
go
don't get to
about
pay.
this patent filing. You help in patent filing, connect
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
industries.
Yeah.
That's indeed a great thing, sir. Within 3 years from lockdown, a great journey connecting with 6,000 industries is not a normal thing, sir. Over to Mausmi Shankar ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Amit sir, for the brief discussion. And to sum up, sir has explained in detail about your weight loss, weight gain, etc., and how different aids helps us to reduce. And he had explained about the clinical traits, and also he has detailedly briefed about how almost like more than thousands of customers were given the opportunities like both domestic and even abroad. Like Nutrify plays a very important role, like connecting role between the customers and the nutrition. More than 38,000 industries were involved in this venture, and try to understand where the problem is and solve it is the basic notion that sir has explained, like how to take up the things. And sir, it is really fascinating to know that 70 groups of WhatsApp, just like with a click of your message, you are connecting different customers abroad, both domestic and abroad, with simple your like smart gadget in your hand, and you're just managing with that is a really exploration thing. And also it is a great message for all the youngsters, because we see youngsters normally wasting their time on other things instead of doing the academics and all these research activities. So it's a very good message for the people, even the student community, and even for us. Thank you so much, sir. And also, we know that they are giving internships also for some of the students who are interested. Last time we got a call from your esteemed organization.
Best mind will always find a place in Nutrify today. As I said,
Yes, sir.
happy to inculcate the culture of entrepreneurs. So if
Yes.
we find right brains, we love to work with them as interns. At the same time, also give them opportunity to work in Nutrify today.
So
Thank
we
you,
can
sir.
expect Kasim sir to share some more aspects about this towards the end of his lecture. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, sir, for sparing your valuable time. And we'll move on to the next speaker for today, Kasim sir, who is also from Nutrify today. And my request, Mausmi ma'am, to please introduce sir to the audience. Over to Mausmi ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 1 second. Once again, hearty welcome to all the guests. And thank you, Kasim sir, for accepting our invitation. And you're so instrumental in providing us an opportunity to meet Amit sir too. And coming to a very nutshell view of Kasim sir's expertise, he has an expertise in healthcare IT solution, project management, and consultancy. He was involved in the government affairs with respect to the project management, and he had healthcare project end-to-end implementation and also executive with the CEO. He goes post go live solution support, procedure standardization, resource optimization, client interaction, team building, and leadership. And he has accomplished and result focused senior healthcare IT professional nearly with 25 years of experience in rendering consultancy services to the senior management on the healthcare IT solutions, on project management, human resource management, medical administration, store management across India. He was very proficient in systems assessment related to the healthcare IT program delivery, program management based on formal methodologies, exploring challenging managerial assignments with a professionally managed organization. He was very well versed in scoping, designing, developing, and deploying and supporting applications in diverse technologies. He is skilled in workflow management, deflect issue tracking, project management, risk management, and change tracking. Adroit in supporting healthcare solution development, he is highly organized, disciplined, and task focused with fine tuned analytical, troubleshooting, and administrative skills. Personality traits include decision making ability and capacity to deliver under pressure. So your resume is from A to Z. We can find all the fields connected, sir, right from nutrition to your project management. And thank you once again for accepting our intimation at such a short span of time. Over to Kasim, sir.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much, Mosmi ma'am, for elaborating my CV to a level that students will get so much hype about me. To the bottom line, I'm a very layman professional. I got everything through my experience, the way of handling things, the way of handling technologies, the way of handling projects, and the way of handling people. It's completely through my experience. I have done my master's in business administration and healthcare informatics. That is my base qualification. But throughout, I have been in a versatile character in between fields, with working with government projects, aided projects, then again conceptualizing a project, then implementing it, and then successfully closing the loop of complete project. So through experience, I could able to get myself versatile in all these aspects. Earlier to Nutrify today, I was working with medical technology company, which is in government of Andhra Pradesh. So I used to work on project and implementing project management, and I have developed a solution there on radio, teleradiology, and telehealth. So kind of concept has been initiated by me. And when I joined Nutrify today, I just heard Amit sir was giving a fabulous experience of him sharing about the idea of India being an epicenter for nutraceuticals. That is his idea. And he being a part of being an instrumental role, playing an instrumental role in Nutra Task Force, which is being governed by Government of India, where chairman is principal scientific advisor. So he gave his professional acumen and experience through government, and he is being instrumental to define a niched role for all nutraceutical people who are associated with designing a nutrition product or designing a new nutritional value addition or whatever, A to Z of nutraceuticals. He's trying to take end-to-end solution to it. So I, being a techie backend, I just walked in Nutrify today. I understood the pulse of nutraceuticals, and here I see versatile people who are from biochemistry background, nutraceutical background, engineering backgrounds, and a lot of people who are mentors, faculties. So it's a conglomerate of people who are really looking forward to hear from me what is niched about nutraceuticals. So I'll share my short PPT on this. I just want to give an update. It's just a thought process. Listen carefully. What technology can give you a bridge gap to a nutrition, to a biochemist, or to a pharmacist who are into healthcare fraternity. He or she may be a dietitian, clinician, or he or she may be developing a new product for the industries, and he or she may be in a research project where they're trying to produce a new research into the fraternity, bring out the new research. So I'll connect the small dots through technology platform, but overall it is just an heads up. It's just trying to connect the dots rightly, so that you'll be appropriately taking technology as a tool to go ahead in your future endeavors, whatever you're achieving in future endeavors. So I'll just share my PPT. Allow me to share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? Can anyone answer?
Sir, I'm
Able
just waiting for your screen to be shared. Yes, sir, you're presenting.
Yeah. So I will not talk much about technology, and I'll just limit how technology can help all the Nutra people who are into nutraceuticals, either of the way, directly to the handling the patient, or directly handling new product development, or getting clinical nutrition to patients, XYZ, whatever relevance is there. So my basic tagline is, it's a technological disruption in nutraceuticals, which will be a revolution, which can have itself bring out a revolution in health and wellness of human beings. After all, we are addressing human beings' health and wellness. So moving to the next slide. So just a brief introduction. Why did I brought this? In altogether, all the years, pharmaceuticals have taken a major role in India or in any other part of the country. If you want to address a disease, directly doctor prescribes you an antibiotic or whatever supplement, antibiotics and any other synthetic drugs to address the disease. But in the light of recent years, thanks to COVID, people are thinking of themselves to get immunity first. They place everything in front of them as immunity, later the disease portion. So if you are immune, so disease almost will go off from your body. So for that reason, technological people diverted their attention towards Nutra. Earlier it was pharma, developing APIs, molecules, computer-aided drug discoveries, everything was towards pharma. People are trying to converge technological tools to help Nutra as well. Because the whole world is now making their people to be healthy. For being healthy, what are the concepts? What are the protocols to be followed? What are the healthy wellness things that needs to be addressed? Has become a priority in everybody's home. I hope so. Everyone understands that. So in the recent years, nutraceuticals have gone a significant transformation, primarily driven by technological advancement. So what does nutraceutical consist of? It consists of functional foods, dietary supplements, and herbal products with potential health benefits, which will give you an immunity kind of experience in your healthy life. And that reshaping and modeling is being experienced by the technology. So hence the way is health technological way of living for better health and wellness. So this is my brief introduction. So what is expected? What is the expectation of people from the world? Earlier, people used to be individual. They used to talk on call. They used to exchange emails. They used to connect with their networking around. They used to refer books. They used to refer research papers for giving the best diet plan or a nutrition, suggesting a nutritional health and well-being to a client or a patient. So people used to go do like this. Now, what is the future? Future is artificial intelligence, generative intelligence. Then again, we have ample sizing of data available onto the domain. That data democracy is there. You can look at the data, and it's an open digital convergence for all people, so that they can curate their thoughts with the information that is available on the net. So we are moving towards a world where a system will drive you what should be the next level of giving health supplements or a clinical nutrition labels. to a patient or an industry or to develop a new product into the market altogether. So I found whatever I got a small experience on it. I have 5 pillars of nutraceuticals. I'll just brief one by one in a small jargon. So first one is we start from farming. Why farmers should go for the nutraceuticals if they don't understand that what is that they're producing. I'll tell an example. See, everybody know haldi, curcumin. Everybody knows that, but India took it as condiment. They use it in cooking, everything that goes on. But what China did, they took the raw material from India, from the farmers, and they extracted curcumin from haldi, and they sold it as a anti-cancer ingredient to the world. So people acknowledge China as their front-end pioneer to bring out a niched ingredient into the market. So farmer doesn't know that what he is doing. Just he is interested to get the benefit of reaping or farm agriculture point of view. But what exactly we need to teach them is that what are you doing? What is the use of that? Even China has not left the leaves of turmeric. They didn't even left the leaves. They also took the leaves also, and they're making turmeric powder from leaves as well. So the idea is that how they could able to make out that, and why India failed in that. India has not failed, but this is lack of poor acknowledgement of that particular ingredient. Years together, Ayurveda, Unani, and all those therapy areas, people used to use haldi to treat wounds, and then anti-carminate. Everything used to be used by haldi. But what China did, they made out a new active ingredient out of that haldi, and they brought it as a medicine to the world. So acknowledgement of farmers should be the prime point, so that they should understand, and medical plants farming should be their priority if they're interested into that. If their soil and methods are inclined to their agriculture methods, then we need to standardize them, let them know that this can be standardized into an active ingredients. Then we need to fingerprinting. Fingerprinting is a technology that they can use it, what is there in the actives in that. And then we need to help those farmers to who will be buying this product, or who will be buying this kind of ingredient. That's specialized logistics also should be there, because the ingredient produced by the farmer may be getting oxidized or disturbed or whatever it is. It get significantly, there should be specialized logistics. So first pillar of nutraceutical is farming. We should research that farming toward technological methods, and that will standardize our getting the right nutraceutical product from the farmers. The second one is how do we extract active nutraceutical ingredients from that particular extract. So this is the collaboration that we need to do with industries, research people, biochemistry students here who are listening to my topics. They should also be more focused. How do we extract active nutraceutical component from an raw material? Then what are the methods that we use, like extraction, isolation, stabilization? So biotech and bioinformatics or biochemistry students together, they can make sure that how do we isolate that active ingredients in a lab or in an industry where R&D facility is available. Then the next step is this ANI can be taken out for clinical studies, so that we can have a group of clinical research organization. They can do a clinical studies in vitro or in vivo. So both the things can be taken as the next step. So after farming, the technology should concentrate on active nutraceutical ingredient extraction methodologies. Then what formats can be made after making an active ingredient is also second, because you need to sell it in the market. You cannot directly sell the raw active ingredient in the market. It should be made into a format which is very well can be taken by a human being. So on those lines, then again, industrial formulators, CDMOs will take contract drug manufacturers. They will give us that this particular actives can be taken into a format called tablet or capsule or whatever, more dissolving strains, NutraShots, whatever you can. So end consumer will feel, okay, this is the format that I can take. So he or she will be able to take it very conveniently. So the formulation is also very important factor, where technology always again plays a role into that. altogether three, who will do this? So if there is a thought process by any of your postgrad students or a research scholar that I have a differentiated nutraceutical product with me or a medicinal plant with me, I want to extract the actives from that ingredient or a medicinal plant. So we need to we need to think in those lines. So that is what Amit sir was mentioning, entrepreneur or entrepreneurs. So the fourth pillar is startups. Startups should talk about those things. They should think about a new approach of getting a new ingredient or novel ingredient or a science which is very much relevantly not there in the market, and then he can bring out with that niche science with the technology backup. So these startups should again go into the intellectual property of filing the products, then incubating. It's one of the classical centers across India. We have CCMBs, we have cell for cell molecular biology. We have DBT, BIRAC funded incubation centers across the India. So you can incubate one of those locations, then you can start researching your project by filing up a dossier to the government of India. You may get grants for that particular research organization. Then you can accelerate your studies based on the grant so that you can go for a research with different pooling of ingredient supplies, whatever it is. So these all together, this is the fourth pillar. You need to understand the sequence of where I am coming. So everywhere the technology is there and it is a disruptive. Unless you think different, otherwise you will be the same clinicians, dietitians, or wherever research scholar, but you need to think different. That difference should be there in your thought process, and ideations and innovation should be your part of regular activities wherever you are. Even if you're a graduate or postgraduate or research scholar, there should be area of innovations what you understand better and the best. Then you can think of how can you bring out an actual product into the market. What we need to do, so this is where the academia also comes in place. So academicians, whenever people are getting postgrads or graduations, their project should be somewhat innovative, and it should not be naive, and it should not get onto the same lines what seniors have done. Try to get something new. Try to connect the dots what you understand. Try to get new ingredient discovered in it. I'll tell you upfront. See, in the world, we have around 8,500 medicinal plants which are yet to be explored to a level of using it as an ingredient in any of the formulations. So India at least in India, we have 6,950 ingredients, medicinal plants are there, where it has been proven that these ingredients can be used in addressing one or the other disease. But to a next level, whether that ingredient can be formed into a product, can be formulated into a product, can I go with a research organization? Can I go use CAD software, computer aided design, saying that whether this biochemistry, biomolecule can be isolated? These all things comes in place, and this should be given. These should be given preference in academia, so that students will understand. Then they'll start. I have met many startups directly from the academia. Sniper. I met people from. Nipur, IIT Jammu, IIT Jodhpur, whom I'm associated with, IIT Rohtak. So these people they are into postgrads, and their ideas are so niched. They come up with something novel idea with respect to biotechnology, bioinformatics, ingredients, and nanotechnology, whatever. They use technology completely, and they try to get something new. Unless they have been supported by a government of India and academicians, PhD scholars. So this is what I intend people to look at this pillar, and it's a complete flow. So everywhere, everything falls in place unless people are acknowledged. Ki how do we do this? So academia is also plays a vital role in nutraceuticals. So now, as the technology is there, availability of abundant of data, abundant of research papers available free of cost, you can refer them, challenge them if there is any problem. Even if you see, I'll tell you, even if you try to discover a toxic or side effect of an ingredient which is already there into the market, that is also great research, correct? So even if you tell that this particular ingredient or a nutraceutical product which is there in market is not good for a certain cult of people, people with so and so race or area of geographical location. That is also a new research. That is what I have seen a lot of people are doing, even to counter the product that is there in the market. So what I tend to tell you is that use of technology should be there to make sure that ethical nutraceutical product should be available in the market, so that clinician, dietitian, or any other doctor prescribing an adjuvant or supplement or a therapy corner to a patient, you should be bold enough to say that yes, this product is ethical product. So where it starts, it should start from farming, extraction, formulating, and startup getting new ideas, and isolation of ideas can be brought out from academics. So this is a complete ecosystem where Amit sir is trying to get the things done through his approach to the government of India, where government of India is also feeling that nutraceutical segment is in silos, and it should be brought to the level where everyone will be able to get the right and responsible nutrition. Is a tagline for all dietitian clinician. They should adhere to that tagline, and for that we need to go for an ethical way of getting novel products into the market. So these are the 5 pillars that I expect, if they are coherent and talking to each other and getting the things done, we are done, and every individual across the globe will be having best health and best immunity. And how do we do that? So I have some technologies. I'll just brief you how the technologies are in place. So my next slide is that it's we all talk about what are we trying to talk. It's a completely personalized nutrition. It may be technology has paved way for personalized nutrition. Individuals can resolve the tailored made dietary recommendation by a clinician or dietitian. We can have technology in place, and then also genetic makeup and health history also will be taken into cognizance before designing a personalized nutrition. You just see an example. A clinician will suggest a separate diet with a person who is having a gym body and a person who is having a low alcohol fatty liver disease. So different recipes are being suggested to different kinds of people. So that can be done through technology itself. Once the technology gets all the cues and in the system, automatically it will generate you a label, so that you can tell that person that you have this. So this is an isolation approach of nutrition to a specific segment of people. Then comes this is the technology advancement in genomic analysis and data science, identification of genetic markers that influence nutrient metabolism, helping to create target nutraceutical solutions. And industries are investing in algorithms of AI and GI to make sure that personalized data can be analyzed in a way and provide and can be and the technology will suggest you appropriate custom supplement formulations, so that health outcome will be healthy immunity and almost optimizing everyone's health. So this is the technology can play on this role as well. Then again, everyone knows, I saw every second student is wearing a smartwatch in his thing, because COVID has given jerks to every one of us. Everyone want to monitor their SpO2, blood pressure, pulse, and everything. So wearables have become a fashion, and everything is at the right touch of your mobile, smartphone, and touch watches. These are something which has already into the market. But how do we take to the next level is something that researchers are still working. How do the technology leverage can give you? How can you anticipate a heart attack coming in place? So some technologies are claiming that it can be done. So without an ECG machine, you can record an ECG. So a lot of digital health monitoring apps and wearables have come into the market. So make sure that people at least get an idea what exactly is happening with me. So this is what the technology is giving you cutting edge to make sure. And in this area of research, you can develop a new diet plan for a person based on his likes and non-likes of food preference and of regional climate and geographical location. So that way you can think to get technology, get a better outcome to give you the best diet plan. So these are some examples of digital health monitoring. So when I move to the next one, this is basically pure science and science I'm going to talk. This is nutrigenics and metabolics. So the field of nutrigenics and metabolomics explore the interactions between nutrients and genes, as well as the impact of nutrients on metabolic process. So the technology tools such as high throughput sequencing and mass spectrometry have facilitated the study of this interaction on a large scale. And companies have utilized this mass spectrometry and high throughput sequencing to generate a pattern of nutrigenomics and metabolomics, so that when a child is born, or when an adult is there with so and so genetic and genes, and what is the impact of the nutrition, it's well defined and well addressed, so that it can be addressed before getting in worst of it. So this knowledge is instrumental in designing nutraceuticals for target specific genetics, predisposition, and metabolic pathways, enhancing their efficacy. So this tool, I'll name some tools, how the methodology, how this has been in place in the market. It may be new, or it may be well acknowledged by a lot of senior people who are sitting here. So these are the areas. There are some places where genetical testing is done, and this is a basic fundamental component of nutrigenomics technology. And companies like 23andMe and Ancestry DNA are some companies where people are working on this nutrigenomics and metabolomics. So genetic testing is the area where a research technology plays a vital role. The micro errors is a methodology. Basically, it's a methodology which allows research to examine the expression levels of thousands of genes simultaneously. It will allow you to examine genes in a human body simultaneously in one go with through micro errors. Then next generation sequencing, so that we can set a sequencing methodologies as a whole genome sequences or target sequencing, and provide a comprehensive view of an individual genetic makeup, so that we can tell them what can be possible for you to make up genes, with which genes can be suppressed and which can seem oppressed or whatever. This technology allows you to do that. Then bioinformatics is the same simple technology, but complete nutrigenomics is completely complementing to bioinformatics. If bioinformatics is not there, nutrigenomics technology will not work at all. So researchers interpret through bioinformatics and design technology for sequencing and test the genes in the human body. Same metabolomics. What is the metabolism that a human body is in place by taking the few parameters or genetic designing that can be done by researchers through technology that is also in place. Then we have nutrigenomics database, through which database everything is been tested, and that database help you to make sure that you curate the database, put an AI into the system, then automatically it will give you the desired outputs, like what is the sequencing of a gene can be done, and it can be done through micro errors, and testing can be done, and accordingly you can supplement a metabolomics to the human body. They're suggesting what kind of metabolism he's having and what kind of nutrition he is required at that particular time. So this is done by machine learning, artificial intelligence. You must have all heard about ChatGPT taking the world, then AI Bard. These are all AIs that place. But everything is possible only if you have database which is rightly conceptualized, which is rightly kept in data sets, and rightly mapped with right research and right science. Then only it will be helpful. Otherwise, it will give you wrong information. That is why ChatGPT worlds are failing. They're falling back because dark net world people are using wrong erroneous data putting onto the platform. Obviously, what ChatGPT or Google does, it captures the whole information across the globe and places you onto the platform. But they are not watching that whether they are giving the right data or not. So this advantage has been taken by industries or technological people who are really looking at developing these kinds of methods and technologies, so that appropriate and absolute ethical nutrition can be defined through technology. Then again, nutritional supplements. Again, when you go to the market, when you ask for a baby food, example. So you'll have a number of baby foods. You don't know which one is the star baby food out of this. You trust that Amway is best. You trust that Wipro is best, whatever. But how do we advantage? How do we take that advantage? Which one is the best? So there are some technologies that automatically generate a best ethical label claim, saying that this is an ethical label claim which is having the high end actives, and that learning can be done through technology itself. And people know that it is there in place, but still a lot of fake products and unethical products, untested products, unstable products are coming into the market. So that is where people, you all understand branded versus generic. Always there is a fight between these two. So this thing also can be overtaken by technology through nutritional supplement technology. I'll show you. I'll just tell you what are those technologies are in place. And as I mentioned earlier, mobile apps and wearable devices are all took over the market. But how much they are technological driven, what is the data that they are using, still yet to be ascertained, and there is no regulation on this portion as of now. Lastly, this is the conventional methods that people use in clinical applications. They go for a group of clinical research organization. They go for a group. Then they'll design that formula for them. Then they'll note each and every readings under in the clinical thesis. They'll take time. Then they'll suggest that this is appropriate. These are the drawbacks. This is the perfection. So that is conventional method. Now there are softwares like CAD, computer-aided drug discovery. So you can use those applications, and you can make sure isolate a chemical structure, put that chemical structure into the system. Then that system will automatically go and you address that key for which disease or a claim that you are trying to help him. Suppose you are helping him to address liver health. So it will target that liver enzymes, and it will tell that key whether this chemical structure that you have brought in as a novel ingredient, will it be helpful for addressing that non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or not? So these are something that really you need to look forward. As Amit sir said, think big. Don't get stuck up to the area of academics. Think technology as well. Talk to technology, learn the technology, and try to understand what is there, what can be done more better than this. So this is about nutrigenomics and metabolomics, and this is the area of interest. I feel all people who are concerned with nutrition should go through each and everything whatever I'm saying, so that they can able to understand what exactly is there in the world of technology, and what exactly people are looking at, and how ethical nutrition can be brought on plate. So this is one area of interest where technology plays a vital role. Then these are some technologies already the people have developed: polymerase chain reaction, single nucleotide polymorphism array, whole genome sequencing, target sequencing, mass spectrometry. Bioinformatics software is also in place. Nutrigenomics database. A lot of people are using these technologies. Machine learning algorithms. Nutritional genomic testing kits are also coming nowadays. They can isolate the gene itself. They're having a strip. They just you need to drop a blood, and automatically it will give you genomic sequences of an individual. Then nutritional supplement formulation tools that I'll show in a later part. That what Nutrify today has done to generate a niche and novel product into the market. And as mentioned, a lot of people, even Apple, everyone are into mobile apps, and wearable devices have been developed. But still, I'll tell you, a lot of places, regulation is a problematic area where there is no regulations. Unless there is a regulations is in place, nothing can be treated as worth enough for taking as in health and in health, basically. So then comes how we address this nutraceutical industries as well, as because I told you the farmer brings out a raw material, then it has to be taken care of. How do you supply that material in a transparency? Because blockchain technology is something that it can address a shipping of nutraceuticals from one place to another place in a defined manner. So consumers, when they get the right product, it should be very much high in quality, and authenticity of ingredients and actives there in that formula should be perfectly grown in. So blockchain technology is one more technology that helps you to make sure that supply chain is moving freely and without hassle free, and everything is in place, and without harassing the or harnessing the product quality. So this is something that it enables you secure immutable records. If you are working with blockchain technology, there are a lot of softwares in place allowing consumer to verify the origin of ingredients and manufacturing process, thus enhancing the trust of nutraceutical products. This is one of the way that we can develop trust into the customers or a client or a patient, so that this product that has been shipped from one place to another with absolutely the way it has to be, it has to come in the same way. See, you must have learned. I'll just set an example. I just got in my mind. Polio vaccination. So polio vaccination was a drug that has been developed. It has to be stored at an X temperature. What happened? Earlier, the nurses used to carry in their boxes with ice box, whatever we call, to sometimes ice goes off because of heavy heat and everything. So at last endpoint, the client, the patient or a child is never used to get the right dose. So it took a lot of time for polio people to understand that the supply chain that has been followed from the place of origin of the vaccine to the end child, there is a lot of quality compromising has been done. So then they started working on how do we make it stable at X and X temperature. So they started working on polio vaccine that can be stable for an X temperature also. So that made it polio free as on date. That is the reason that they worked backend, and then the blockchain technology has helped them to evolve in a perfect supply chain. Then they could able to evolve into better quality vaccine to the child. So this is what the technology can also help in nutraceutical supply chain. So some of the these are the things that key ways that we can make sure that supply chain traceability can be done, quality assurance, provenance verification can also be done, regulatory compliance, whether it isn't stored in the right time and right place, authenticity and anti-counterfeiting. So somebody is changing that into something adulterated products like. And smart contracts are also in place wherever we can catch hold of the contracts if there are agreements that takes place in blockchain technology. Consumer trust will be increased. Then we can recall all the safety alerts that are there. Then almost together is the data security that we can enhance. Then international trade will also be easier for us by keeping blockchain technology in place for exporting your nutraceutical products. And consumer engagement will always be improvised once the consumer trust is more. So this is something, the second level of this is mostly to be used by industrialists and clinicians and dietitians and researchers should adapt themselves with the technology so that they can understand that this is a perfect technology that is in place and the quality of the drug or the nutraceutical is not gone away. So this is one step. Then the next column is that we talk about new. What is new? When one nutraceutical product is there, why do you want to have something new? What is the new that you need to get? There is a huge competition in the world of nutraceuticals nowadays. What is the supplement that you're giving is the first call. Second is what is the format and the delivery system, this delivery system that you are going to give it to the client so that he'll be more interested to take on. So advancement in formulation technology is also improving with making it more bioavailable and stable compounds. So the techniques like such as nano-capsulation, micro-encapsulations, which is more helpful in absorption of the actives into the body, ensuring that the actives reach out to the target sites effectively. And these formulations and delivery systems do now in the current scenario, all formulators are using technology to get the best out of this actives. So because every active cannot be stable at any temperature. Suppose one of the active is there which is having a Cmax value where when you put it in the mouth, it gets absorbed easily. And some ingredients are there, some actives are there. When it enters into the pH of stomach, it gets disintegrated. So waste, even it may be a worthful ingredient, but if you're not done a correct formulation or a correct delivery mechanism, so you're failed. So a number of times you take that, it will not be even that may help in placebo effect, but rightly it cannot go to the target site effectively because you have done a poor formulation of that particular activity, is not keeping in view of solubility, Tmax or Cmax or Tmax into the system. Tmax is nothing but bioavailability of that product into the system. So in these areas, technology also plays a vital role 3D printing is also done for encapsulation, micro encapsulation of the technology. And dosage formats are nowadays like shots, Nutra shots. They take it as a Nutra shot. Then earlier, we never used to have more than tablet capsule and powder and liquid. Nowadays, more dissolving strips are also a concept, newer formulator, and they're trying to give a different formulation and a format with already existing ingredients with a better bioavailability. So that is where formulation and delivery technology has also been in place in the world. Some of the key aspects are, obviously, there should be a bioavailability enhanced once you do different formulation, and customization and personalization. Suppose if you want to give a solid to a geriatric or a pediatric patient or a client customer, you'll not be able to give. You need to, but the drug is in a solid format, like capsule or tablet. So he's not able to gulp. Then what is the solution? Then you need to customize that and personalize the format for him. And that should be taken as a problem statement. And the researchers who are working in getting a new formulation and delivery as system, they are working to get the best for them. And targeted formulations are there. Absolute targeted formulations. Novel ingredients also can play a vital role. Like exceptionally, we can replace one of the molecule with another molecule through its similar mechanism of action, mechanism of action that takes place. Taking biomarkers into consideration, then delivery mechanism also mechanism and formulation also can be tweaked so that a new format can come into place with a novel ingredient. Then that is what, again, time release technology, where site of action should be taking place. It should be within half. So nowadays people are targeting to get energy. You must have heard about Red Bull. It says that it is an instant energy, but nothing is there in that. It's a caffeine of 80 milligram. So, but it's an instant energy to people. When you see the ad, they'll be flying and all those things. So there is a technology that can help us to make sure that what should be the time release of a delivery of a format. Like the action should be taken like half an hour, 1 hour. You must have heard in the most of the doctors and scientists must have heard extended release, delayed release, sustained release. So similar kind of mechanisms should also be there in nutraceuticals, and the technology is helping to frame that as well. So these are some of the formats that is already there, and instead of these formats, people are trying to get more and more formats like gummies and soft gels, vegan soft gels. Earlier, omega-3 used to be a non-veg only, fish oil. But now people are trying to get plant-based omega-3 as well, and they're trying to put it, because obviously any alkaloid from the plant is not